That's right, coffee. Why? Well, why not? When playing a game or watching something, it's a nice idea to have a drink nearby. Some people enjoy drinking tea, others enjoy drinking coffee, or maybe whiskey and even water, why not? If you're interested in getting into drinking coffee, well, I know the basics, and the basics are quite enough for you to enjoy a nice cup of coffee. So keep watching, and by the end of the video, you know the basics too. There are basically two types of coffee, or two types of coffee plants. One of them is called Arabica, and the other is called Robusta. There are some major differences between the two. The Arabica coffee usually has a better taste, more smooth, when compared to the Robusta. The Robusta has more of that bitter taste that people don't usually like very much. But the Robusta has almost the double caffeine than the Arabica does. So if you're looking for a nice taste, you go for Arabica. If you're looking for caffeine, you go to Robusta. So the Arabica coffee is usually more expensive than the Robusta because the Arabica plant is more delicate, it's more prone to disease than the Robusta. The Robusta plant will survive longer and give coffee the whole year long. When buying your coffee, you can find it on the package if it's Arabica or Robusta. If it doesn't say, you can go by the price. If it's an expensive coffee, it's probably Arabica. And if it's too cheap, it's probably Robusta. Arabica is way more expensive than the Robusta, but they're both quite affordable. If you wanna have both the taste of the Arabica and the caffeine from the Robusta, you can find some coffees out there that are a mix. So there are all kinds of options out there, you just have to look. Regardless of Arabica or Robusta, the coffees have different roasts. They go from light to dark, and maybe very dark you can find. Now the difference between a light and a dark roast is mostly the flavor. The amount of caffeine on a light and on a dark roast is pretty much the same. It has minor variations but doesn't matter much, so don't get a dark coffee expecting more caffeine because it probably won't make much difference. Get whatever roast tastes the better for you. Other than that, you'll find on the packages things like this coffee has hints of nuts, or that coffee has hints of dark chocolate and oranges, or berries, vanilla or whatever. Well, unless you're a fanatic, that doesn't matter much. It's more like a trial and error thing. You try a coffee, if you like it, keep buying it. If you don't, go for another one until you find one or two you really like. It never hurts to have more than one type of coffee around, it's just like tea. Sometimes you're more in the mood for a stronger coffee and sometimes you're more in the mood for a smooth one. Just as important as the coffee is the water. The best idea is to use mineral water or filtered. If you're gonna use a tap water, then remember this. The quality of your coffee will be as good as the quality of your water. There are several ways of making coffee. I'll share with you the two ones I like the most. As a general rule, it's 1 tablespoon of coffee for a cup of coffee you want done. You can try using a little more, a little less, until you find what suits your taste the better. So the first way is the most simple one, with a filter. Just place the filter, then place the coffee, don't compact it or anything, just let it rest there. Pre-warm the cup if you can, just get some of that hot water, place it on the cup, let it rest for a couple of seconds until the cup gets hot, and then get it back. The ideal temperature for getting the best taste from your coffee is right below boiling point. So when the bubbles begin to rush upwards, that's usually the right time. If you forget about it and it fully boils, then just let it cool down for a minute or so and then go on and make your coffee. Slowly pour the water, that's important, and just wait. Now making the coffee with a filter is one of the easiest ways. But the paper filter also holds back some of that oil that the coffee naturally has. And that is why I have the second way of making coffee, which is with a French press. Now you can get French presses from prices that go from 10 to 100 bucks. Don't worry about that. Get one that looks decent. It's enough. Again, just like you did with the filtered coffee, it's a good idea to preheat both the French press and your cup. Then you just add the coffee, add the water, put the top arc back on, and just let it rest for 4 minutes. After the 4 minutes, just push it down slowly and serve. If you compare both a coffee made on a filter and a coffee made on a French press, you'll see that the coffee made on a French press is kind of thicker and has some oils on top of it. But those oils might cause some problems with cholesterol if you drink too much. So it's a good idea to save the French press coffee for whenever you feel like something different. And then just add some sugar if you want to, get your favorite game or your favorite show, and enjoy.